Welcome back to the Victory Association for Games 2022, the lowest rated esports competition on the East Coast. I'm Lancecaster, the Sportscaster.
And I am feeling very short right now. Say, Lancecaster, how are you doing today?
Well, besides the existential crisis of being trapped in a flesh prison I call a body, I feel pretty good.
Hey, I'm glad to hear that. Sounds like you're reading off a teleprompter too. I'm glad that that's coming in use for you. Today we are at the Style Savvy Grand Prix, here to take a look at Stretchy Pizza versus Innuendo in the Grand Finals. Tell me, Lance, how do you feel about this matchup today?
I honestly do not care, but tell me, what is an e-sport? Is it just a sport with an E? Would you be able to explain in intimate detail, cited sources, and reinforcing examples?
Well, I am glad you asked. I have a great answer to that. No.
Am I the only one who hears all this talk about esports having this massive spike in popularity, yet nobody seems to talk about it?
Honestly, I think it's just you.
This isn't an interactive experience.
Esports is so fascinating because you can go into a scene for a video game and see legends, gods of the video game world, winning hundreds, thousands of dollars in video game competitions just for you to move from one community over to another to have people ask,
Who the hell is that?
That's the teleprompter.
Think about it. How many competitive video game players do you know that aren't massive content creators, Billy Mitchell, or any of the members of the big streamer groups like FaZe Clan? Like, come on, I couldn't even tell you what games FaZe Clan plays, much less recognize any of them if I randomly met them on the street.
Oh, I thought it was going to cut to a video of you meeting a member of...
Listen, man, I'm trying to tell a story here.
If you aren't in the know of a video game scene, there's a good chance that nobody that you know is aware of how insanely popular the most famous player of that game is. Now compare that to competitive athletic sports, which is televised in a live setting, broadcast on national TV, sponsored by every multinational billion-dollar corporation out there that can pay to promote a person to buy their product. Everyone in the damn world knows who LeBron James is. He's also in competitive esports now.
Want a Sprite cranberry?
You know, has anybody ever told you that you look like him?
How?
But even though esports might not have the same level of popularity as a major league sporting event, it's not like you could honestly tell the difference. Can you tell any idea what's going on the screen? Because I sure as hell can't. But when this dude screams out pentakill at the top of his lungs like he just watched his newborn son kick the bucket for the very first time, I might be a fucking moron, but I know that something fantastic just happened.
But Xalem, why should I care about esports? I'm into more classic games like Steambot Chronicles for the PlayStation 2, the hit Atlas game that nobody played.
Well, Lance, you're in luck because here to tell us more about the history of esports is our reporter on the field. Take it away, reporter on the field.
Yeah, I don't even know why I'm here. I'm just his manager. Oh, sorry, Xalem. We are currently here on the location of the Did you really just say esports?
Let's flash back to 1972, to a time before the internet, to a little unknown place called Stanford University. While most people were worried about some dude named Heisman throwing a pigskin around, students on campus were competing in the first ever esports tournament for a little game called Space War, with the grand prize being a full-year subscription to Rolling Stone magazine. I guess it's a better extracurricular activity than the one the year before. But let's flash forward 8 years into the future to a little underground game called Space Invaders, where Atari was attracting tens of thousands of contestants to compete in what is officially recognized as the first ever esports competition, with the grand prize this time being a stand-up arcade cabinet. Rumor has it, you could fit so many copies of Rolling Stone in there. This kind of proved to be a big deal, as esports was shown to be much bigger than anybody ever thought possible. Billy Mitchell became the star athlete for competitive gaming, and even became the poster child for competitive lying. The Nintendo World Championships proved to be successful, bringing in thousands of video game players together to fight for an alternate colored cartridge and the title of greatest gamer of all time.
And then we get to Street Fighter.
How the hell did you know we were going to talk about Street Fighter next?
This is Street Fighter.
Don't do that again.
Street Fighter comes out in 1992. Nobody bats an eye. But then you get to the player's select screen, and all of a sudden, god damn, this is a revolution. You can play multiplayer, head-to-head combat. What the f is this taking turns bullshit we've been doing for years? You're telling me I can play against another person? Street Fighter caused this rippling wave of changes inside this small infant of a child that will eventually become known as this thing called esports. No more were the days of spending 30 minutes laying down the best high score you possibly can just to hand the controller off to another person, have them do the same thing. No, this is one-on-one, mono-e-mono, 2-minute battles to prove who's better at pressing 2 different buttons on a damn controller. So here's all these game developers thinking, wait a damn second, we can add this style of head-to-head combat to any genre. Quake comes in, giving us this giant shooter-style tournament. StarCraft flies in, giving us real-time strategy elements and eventually devolving into a style of games I can only describe as, I'm supposed to hate this. NBA Jam came out and started this wave of sports games, taking a real-life sport of basketball and making people with no athletic prowess compete inside of a video game. And it doesn't even have LeBron James in it!
All right, I'm tired of the LeBron James jokes. Who keeps putting his name up on the teleprompter? Stacy! Stacy!
Hello?
But hello, 1997! Now we have this little thing called dial-up, where you can play video games like the aforementioned Quake and StarCraft Online with your friends. I can't do that in professional sports at the time. Why would I work out every day of my life, learn how to do something athletic, spend thousands of dollars to battle another team in real life, when I could just jump on StarCraft while my mom yells at me for cranking 90s while she's trying to call grandma on 100 kilobits internet speed? This is the birth of online gaming, our first piece of what is now commonly referred to as online gaming.
I fucking hate you.
Never heard of you. Anyways, we have our correspondent Jared out on the field right now as well, looking into online gaming and the rise of it in the early 2000s. Take it away, Jared.
Thanks, Xalem. So we are out here at this abandoned warehouse downtown, and we are hoping the police will shed some light on this situation.
Damn it, did you get the wrong script? Listen.
Just discovered the body.
To the wrong
Still trying
place.
to identify
Can you
who that.
Fast forward to 2007 and bring in the gaming powerhouses. You've got Halo 3 with Xbox Live support. You've got Call of Duty 4 giving us some of the best multiplayer that we've ever seen and proving that you don't have to hit this high skill ceiling to be able to do well against strangers on the internet. Mario Kart Wii gave us this idiot who can't stop mentioning that he used to be a runner-up world record holder for Peach Beach before people started driving under the influence. 2007 was when gaming online was finally becoming tolerable. Internet speeds were getting better and grandma finally got into a home. There was no one to bitch at me for playing Warcraft. No longer were gamers trying to prove that they were the best in their friend group. You had the whole entire world to see who could be the best of the best. Every single game was trying to dip their hands into this multiplayer pot, trying to get their hands into the quickly growing competitive scene. Shrek 2? Okay, maybe not every multiplayer game, but pick up any PS3 or Xbox game and just look at the back of it. Online support, online support. Well, some of these might just consist of online leaderboards of who can run through this level the fastest. Most companies were really trying to take advantage and profit off of this new trend of online gaming, and so...
Say, Xalem, what could you do with $40 million?
Well, personally, if I had $40 million right now, I could buy 28,911,655 McChickens and a Sprite Cranberry. What would you do with $40 million, Lance Casher, the sportscaster?
I could finally hire a hitman so I don't have to kill you myself.
How the hell did this even happen? MLG was a professional esports organization that used to broadcast live events on ESPN. That's right, the same ESPN where you can watch... Watching Halo 2 and Halo 3 felt like you were watching reality TV. All of these micro-celebrities battling it out to see who reigns top dog, going head-to-head in one of the biggest multiplayer games of all time.
He wasn't there. He was too young and too busy playing Puzzle Pop.
Puyo Pop!
But these events had real-life sponsors and big-time payouts like the other things that they showed on ESPN. I've heard people complain that they show things like poker and fishing on sport networks in recent years. Like, come on, you think clutching a kill to nab a come-from-behind win on Halo 3 is less interesting than Walter out on a lake catching a 22-inch bass? We've all heard the arguments from older folks saying things like, oh, well, you can't call these players athletes because they're not physically exercising. Okay, cool. I've also heard people say the same thing about cheerleaders, skateboarders, golfers, race car drivers. Like, who the f cares? You can eat hot dogs for a living, and as long as it's entertaining, the term athlete doesn't really matter.
But you know what does matter is the sponsor of this video, half-eaten bag of Totino's pizza rolls. Totino's pizza rolls.
Did anybody tell me we have a sponsor for this video? I don't have anything. I don't have any knowledge of this. Like, are we gonna get sued?
But Xalem, you're talking about esports this and online gaming that. I personally stopped listening when you mentioned League of Legends earlier, so why should I care? And if I had to be honest, you shouldn't. Unless you really want to. Why do we watch regular sports? Why do we watch the Olympics? Because we like seeing the extent of what the human body can do when we push itself to its absolute limitations. When you see Usain Bolt running 27 miles an hour, you gotta stop to yourself and think like, damn, That's a car running through a school zone. Wait, really? What the fuck? Esports are no different, and the reason we don't see many of these esports athletes unless we're in the know. These players are picking through these games with a fine-tooth comb, making strides to show some of the most impressive use of skills inside their small niche of whatever game you're playing. When you see Rainbow play GeoGuessr, a game where you're dropped into a random location on Earth and you have to guess where you are, and all he has to see is the grass to know that he's in Laos, come on, how can you not think competitive gaming is impressive? I may not be able to tell a difference between a mid-level Overwatch player and a professional Overwatch player, and I may not even know if this is CSGO, but someone out there is passionate enough to see the skills being put on display here, and that's what esports is all about. Passion being driven to its absolute finest, when people fall in love with a game so much that they become the best of the best of the best, striving others to be even better than them, and providing the best entertainment imaginable.
In any market,
He's
you
still
can go
going.
to
He's still
any
going.
store.
Oh my God. Is this what this
anywhere,
network
and
has devolved into?
grab
Okay,
a
Stacy,
grab of
Stacy,
Biggie
come on,
Bag,
come on,
bag
please,
grab,
can we please just
pizza
wrap this up?
rolls,
I'm getting really,
Totino's.
Stacy,
Totino's
Stacy,
pizza
I'm
rolls.
tired of this.
I love them.
I should have just stuck to Mario Kart.
Lava cake cheese stuffed tortellini of pizza roll gushing into
Lance.
their mouth
Lance.
at 450 degrees.
That's pepperoni.
Pepperoni half-eaten bag of Totino's pizza rolls.